Hello and welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara Falco. Thank you so much for joining us. We're starting off with our top story this morning, and that is the drones. It's been dominating conversation here in New Jersey. What are they? Where are they from? And do they pose any danger? South Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew has been saying the drones may be controlled by Iran. The Pentagon does say initial investigations indicate they are not controlled by a foreign government. Lawmakers here in New Jersey were briefed by the state Wednesday, but we still have no answers and a lot of questions. Joining us now, Republican candidate for governor Jack Ciattarelli. Jack, good morning. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning, Cara. Thanks for having me back.
Thanks so much. We're always happy to have you on. In regards to these drones, what have you been hearing?
First, let me say that people are angry. They're frustrated. They're anxious. And my fear is that some people are going to take matters into their own hands if our state and federal government don't begin to do something. Congratulations to Congressman Van Drew for flushing out the government, for at least saying something about the threat. But it really hasn't given people a whole lot of confidence. 5 days ago, Phil Murphy said there was no threat. 3 days ago, he said he was frustrated by the Biden administration's lack of cooperation in providing more security. And 2 days ago, the FBI said they don't know whether or not these drones pose a threat. Considering where it is they're flying, it's very, very concerning, and something needs to be done, and soon.
So, and you had mentioned, some congratulations or your applause for Congressman Jeff Van Drew's statement that this may be another country, possibly Iran. Have you heard anything like that? Is that something that is legitimate?
That's certainly the thing that everybody's guessing because we can't seem to figure it out. And what I can't figure out is, considering all the resources that we have right here in New Jersey, McGuire Air Force Base, Fort Dix, the Air National Guard, the best equipped state police in the country, we can't find out the place of origin for drones that are the size of your dining room table. This is ridiculous. I still want to believe that we've got the most technologically advanced military in the world. We've still got the best Central Intelligence Agency. Unfortunately, Joe Biden and Phil Murphy, in my opinion, are taking a very laissez-faire approach to this, as they did with the border and illegal immigration. Does this or does this not pose a threat in our communities? I mean, it's not just, Cara, that they're showing up in people's backyards. They're over our water supply. They're over our power lines. They're over our natural gas pipelines. They're over our 911 communication centers. Is this not a matter of national security at this point?
Yeah, and so Van Drew has also called for, and you mentioned the military, and we, for as small of a state as New Jersey is, we have several military bases here. He's been calling for the military to just shoot them down. Is that a tactic you agree with?
Listen, if we can get a shot off over the ocean, or certainly over wide open space, I can't disagree with the congressman, considering where we are at this point in time. We shouldn't be doing that over residential neighborhoods, of course. And New Jersey is a very densely populated state, so we do need to be careful. But as I said at the very beginning, because of people's level of anxiety, their frustration, their anger, and the threat that they may perceive, I'm hopeful that citizens are not going to start to take matters into their own hands because of the lack of action by our governor.
Yeah. So speaking of the governor and the state government right now, what do you think they should be doing about this? If the federal government doesn't step in or aid in any way, what should the state be doing right now?
The governor can certainly deploy the state police helicopter fleet. He can certainly deploy the Air National Guard, and also has a role with regard to the Coast Guard if, in fact, these drones are coming off a ship that's out at sea. So there's a number of things that he can do. But the other thing he can be doing is giving daily press briefings to keep people updated about what he's learned, what it is they know. So he's been MIA on this one, Cara.
If there's nothing to report, is a daily press briefing, almost a waste of folks' time?
Hey, Cara, for 14 straight months, this guy went on TV every single day giving us updates on the pandemic. I think that we deserve that right now. Nobody would like it if unidentified people were showing up in their backyard. These things are over our residential neighborhoods and over a whole lot of other places that are very, very important with regard to our energy supply, our water supply, and our security systems. I mean, our 911 communication centers. The governor, at the very least, should be saying what it is he's demanding to find out. So I think daily press briefings would help people maybe calm down. But again, if they don't, or if they're not given the opportunity to calm down, we hope they don't take matters into their own hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Gubernatorial candidate Jack Ciattarelli, we always appreciate you joining us here on the New Jersey Morning Show. So thank you so much once again for your time this morning.
Thank you, Cara.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
All right, folks, coming up, our own meteorologist Mike Favetta joins us with some more mysterious drone updates. Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. We continue our discussion about those mysterious drones that have been sighted flying over New Jersey, and we bring back meteorologist Mike Favetta to talk about some of the weather conditions needed to fly drones. Again, we were talking about the gusty winds and the rain that we've had in the last 24 hours or so. What weather conditions where drones could pose a risk to people on the ground because of storms and strong winds like that?
Right. So if you tuned into our live show on Thursday night, you heard all about, or rather Wednesday night, all about the various types of weather conditions that drones are certified to fly in, because somebody has to be controlling the drones remotely, at least in this case. Now, with the 7 nights that we heard reports of confirmed drone sightings in New Jersey in November, plus the 3 nights of the confirmed drone reports in December, all of those evenings had good flying weather. That is, calm winds with nothing more than some daytime heat leaving the ground and clear skies. And those conditions are very conducive for flying visibly. And that is, you're able to see the drone from your house potentially, because the drones are not supposed to fly above 400 feet. Also, we have those earlier sunsets, so the shorter daylight hours allow for kind of covert conditions where the drones can go out and not be detected as easily, obviously because of the earlier sunsets. Now, when there's too much moisture in the air and when you have a little bit of a different type of weather scenario, a lot of times that promotes fog. And that's where it's unfavorable for flight, because fog typically rides low to the ground. I mean, the definition of fog is a cloud at the ground, and that promotes reduced visibility, and that's where you have all that extra water vapor and turns into fog. There's also the concern with high winds. We haven't seen any reports of drones flying in those high winds, because typically, and here's an airplane for example, in the summertime, when you have these storms develop, you get these downdrafts, and that creates a tailwind, potentially knocking the drone out of the sky. And with very little buffer, with just a couple hundred feet from the ground to the flight level, that could cause some issues. So again, with that drone flight altitude, usually just a couple hundred feet up, technically it's supposed to be only up to 400 feet. You have that dry, calm weather, and it makes the navigation easier with less wind, just nothing more than a little bit of a breeze. But when there's damp weather, that tends to cause issues. We all know electronics and moisture, rain, they don't mix very well. And so when there's moisture in the air, especially warmer, less dense air, that could create some issues with the drone flying. So again, with warm air cooling by the ground above, you get that little bit of a temperature difference. That usually creates a little bit of fog. As we've seen certain mornings, anytime there's fog around, we haven't heard or seen any of those drones because of that reduced visibility, and because, again, there's that moisture component likely creating some hazards there. The bigger issue is the rain. Have not seen or heard of any of the confirmed drone sightings when there's rain. Not only is there the reduced visibility issue, but also, of course, the drone typically cannot fly in wet weather. So all of these weather scenarios kind of aligning, Cara, with what we've heard and seen with the reports, that it's just been the clear, calm nights that these drones have been reported flying low, under that 400-foot threshold. Over people's homes and across most areas in New Jersey.
Yeah. So, Mike, I mean, just thinking, okay, we're already in the middle of December now. Typically, New Jersey has, some rough weather in the winter, certainly very cold weather. I mean, is any of that, as you kind of, and I know you can only look so far out meteorologically, but, are we looking at any sort of weather upcoming that would either prevent or possibly allow for these drones to fly again?
So I think that's a great question. Looking forward, are there any conditions during the evening hours, say between 5 p.m. when it gets dark up until about 10 p.m., the kind of the later side of when we hear these drone sightings in the evening hours? Are there good conditions for flying? And at least in the last few evenings, we've had the rain, we've had the very gusty winds, and now we have, while it's a little bit calmer this weekend on Saturday and Sunday, there will be more rain that comes in pretty persistently throughout the nights upcoming this Monday, this Tuesday, and even again this Wednesday and into next week. So there are limitations here. Don't forget, there's also the fact of the cold. As we know, these drones run on batteries. And if you're out in the cold, batteries and cold typically don't do well together, shortens a battery lifespan significantly. So extreme cold, something like tonight, for instance, where we have actual air temperatures down below the freezing mark, tomorrow morning as well into tomorrow night, temperatures down below the freezing mark. I think that could be a cause for maybe a little bit of an issue if these flights do happen. They might be shorter. If that's the case. But as we looked back over the 10 nights that the drones were confirmed sighted, half of those had temperatures that were below average, but they weren't below the freezing mark. So it's interesting to see now if these drones will go out where the weather is below the freezing mark. And that would be something new, at least to add to the analysis of tracking the weather along meteorologically and how that plays into these drone sightings, Cara.
Yeah. Mike, my only other thought, and I know only because I'm excited about it, I know coming up we have the winter solstice, and then we are going to start to get some more daylight starting in the next few weeks as well. So talk a little bit about just that solstice and what that means, and you know, how much daylight are we going to start to gain, and you know, does the daylight play a factor? These have been flying at night, but so maybe as the days start to get longer, quote unquote, you know, that might be a factor as well.
Oh, sure. I mean, considering if you were looking to fly something without being seen in the early evening hours, this would be the time of year to do it, especially with sunset shortly after 4:30 p.m. It gets pitch black by 5. And so with, you know, still kind of in that working hours timeline, you would have pretty decent weather. It's also been warmer than average the last few weeks. You know, the first drone sighting was about a month ago, and that's when we had afternoon highs in the 80s. It was still very warm in the beginning of November. Very unusual, obviously.
Yes, it was.
So to have Right. So to kind of have the stars aligning, if you will, for all the ingredients to come in order, an early sunset, you have it nice and dark earlier in the day, and then weather that's pretty favorable with the calm winds, clear sky, and mild temperatures comparatively. First half of the month was well above average. In fact, November 2024 was the warmest month on record globally by a long shot. And so we saw the effects of that here in New Jersey, obviously the first half of the month with that mild weather. So looking ahead, yes, I think that the conditions may not be as good temperature-wise, but there are some rain chances ahead in the future. And as we've seen, probably not going to see many more flights. Regarding daylight hours, we start to see a big uptick in the amount of daylight we get per day starting in February. So we still have about 2 months where that sun is setting before 5 p.m. Before we start to see those daylight hours coming longer, at least in the late part of winter, early part of spring. But a good 2 months left of those really dark evenings.
Listen, I'm still going to say it's going to start getting lighter longer in 2 weeks, not 2 months, okay?
Okay.
Mike,
Positive
stay right
thinking.
where you are. We appreciate your analysis on this. I always love when we bring on Professor Mike. Coming up in just a little bit, though, how one diner is spreading some holiday cheer throughout their community. Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. Carnegie Diner and Cafe in Secaucus is putting on a slew of holiday festivities, including a holiday toy drive and brunch with Santa. And we are just waiting on the owner and executive chef, Stathis, I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, Antonopoulos is here. I'm going to actually have him say his name for us. Good morning, Stathis. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. How are you today?
Good, thank you. Good. You have that good Greek name.
Yes, Stathis Antonopoulos. Thank
There
you so
it
much for
is.
having me.
Listen,
How are you?
Good,
Happy
thank you.
holidays. Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays. Yes. Tell us a little bit about your holiday toy drive that you have happening at Carnegie Diner.
So we are here in Secaucus, New Jersey, and we love our community. We love being here. And last year we did a test, and we said let's gather some toys for the kids, and the smiles on the kids' faces, it was everything for us. And this is our second year we're doing that, and we matching all the toys that you guys people gonna bring. Up to $1,000 worth of toys, we're gonna match it, and we want to give as many smiles to these kids in need in our community, and we're collecting toys. And please welcome and join us, and drop your toy over here.
What a wonderful idea. You guys are also going to be hosting a holiday brunch with Santa. What can families expect from that?
I know. I heard that the elves told us that the Santa Claus is coming this Sunday between 12 and 2. So basically, it's our also second year we're bringing Santa, and families are welcome to take pictures. Everything is free. We don't have to pay anything. Just come, spend time with the Santa, take pictures, and And I hate when I go to a mall and I have to pay and I sit on the line for a long time. Although we're expecting a lot of people, but everybody's welcome, and get some joy and get in the spirit of Christmas and the holiday season.
I love that. Talk to me, why was it important for you to serve the community there in Secaucus?
So for us, when we're building a restaurant, we're not just building a restaurant for serving good food and good drinks. It's all about the community we are, and we are part of that. Our mission statement says it's about being a family of the community, and that's how I grew up, and that's how I want all my restaurants to be. So you have to be an active member of your community and give back and give and be active, when the community needs you. And when the holiday season comes, the people have to know that you're here and you're able and you're making sure that giving back to them.
Tell me a little bit about Carnegie Diner and Cafe. What makes it a special place for folks to gather for the holidays?
Well, at Carnegie Diner and Cafe, we're open from 7 o'clock in the morning until very late at night. And we are offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner all day long. We have the pancakes, we have our eggs, and we have everything done and served all day long from early, and if you want to have pancake for dinner, it's okay. So we use only very good ingredients. Our steaks, it's only prime meats. Our pancakes made fresh here daily, our omelets as well. So for us, Carnegie Diner and Cafe is an institution, and we're happy to be in New Jersey. We live in New Jersey as well, so I had to, we had to make a restaurant where we live. So we're extremely excited to be here.
I love it. Stathis, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate your time. So
Absolutely.
Again, that is Carnegie Diner and Cafe.
Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you so much, and wish you everybody health and prosperity.
Thank you, and to you guys as well. Happy holidays. And again, Santa will be there this coming Sunday. Thanks again.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. What a wonderful family event. Speaking of holiday events, we're going to be celebrating Kwanzaa at NJ PAC. That's coming up in just a bit. Well, the holiday season is a time to celebrate with friends and family. And joining us now is Aisha Marabella, Assistant Vice President of Community Engagement at NJ PAC. And she's here to tell us about NJ PAC's Kwanzaa Family Festival and Marketplace. Good morning, Aisha. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good.
So good to be here with you.
We're so happy to have you. Do me a favor, can you tell us just first and foremost a little bit about Kwanzaa, what the celebration is itself about?
Absolutely. So it's actually a pre-Kwanzaa because we know that Kwanzaa really starts December 26th through January 1st. But here in Newark, the city of Newark partners with the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, and this is our 27th year of doing this. We are so excited to have 50 partners.
Wow. People
like our Newark Museum and Newark Public Library, 50 engaged partners, nonprofits in our local area are going to come and join us with all of their constituents, their children, their elders, their adults. We're going to have a great time embodying all 7 principles of Kwanzaa. It is going to be a great day.
It sounds like it. Tell us a little bit about the day itself. What's the event going to look like?
So the event is going to have 20 vendors, and we're going to fill the entire space from the floor, the orchestra, or the prelude area, the Prudential lobby area, all the way up to the second tier. We have
Wow.
9 spaces that will be filled with face painting, storytelling, panel discussions, West African dance classes, drum classes, all kinds of arts and crafts, reading rooms. We're so excited. We'll have a baboonzi. We'll be giving out toys and gently worn clothes, some coats, and some food. So it's going to be filled with lots of music, great artisans with unique items that they will be selling, that they've made. We'll have children dancing, West African companies performing. We have Jersey Club performing. It's going to be an amazing day.
It looks fantastic. And talk to me a little bit about some of these artisans. What can shoppers look to purchase while they're there?
They should look for some brand new jewelry. And if they have not done all of their holiday shopping, they have to come from some amazing clothes. One of the outfits that I have on today, I purchased there at Kwanzaa in years past. And so they should come looking for materials. They should come looking for some ornaments. They can even make their own ornaments and some face painting, some items that they can have their children make. They have some books that they can purchase for their young people and older. We're going to have a great time. I'm excited already.
It sounds fantastic. Tell me a little bit about some of the, what makes it a true Kwanzaa festival? What are the traditions that become incorporated into the day? I know you spoke briefly about, some dance and some food. Can you expand on those a little bit?
Absolutely. So Kwanzaa is really built on 7 principles, and that is Umoja, which represents unity, Kujichagulia, which is self-determination, Ujima, collective work and responsibility, Ujamaa, which is cooperative economics, Nia, which is purpose, Kuumba, which is creativity, and Imani, which is faith. So each one of our spaces will be named after one of these principles. And in each space, we will have artisans and artists and local performers that will be representing those particular principles.
That really just all sounds beautiful. It sounds like a great event. One more time, what is the day of that event, and do we need tickets for it?
Of course, I forgot to say that, right? It's December 21st from 12 to 7 p.m. It is free, all free. But please know, you can come for the entire day because we have a C.C. Winans performance in the Prudential Hall that evening that starts at 8 p.m. and you don't want to miss that. And then the next day we have Forces of Nature Dance Company that will be performing at 3 p.m. on Sunday. And you don't want to miss that. So come out and join us.
That absolutely sounds amazing. Are there any other events, holiday events coming up at NJPAC that we should know about as well?
Well, we have the Kwanzaa celebration that starts on the Friday, so CC Winans will be there. We have the Nutcracker that they will be performing this weekend. So if you can get here to Newark today or tomorrow, there are lots of programming that they can see. But please visit our website at njpac.org, and I promise you'll find some show that will be pleasing to you. It's a great space to be in during the holiday time.
It sounds like an absolutely incredible event. So one more time, tickets are available at njpac.org. If you're interested in the Kwanzaa event, it's /Kwanzaa. Aisha, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate your time and your energy. It sounds like a wonderful event.
Thank you. And remember, Kwanzaa, the festival, is free, so everyone can come.
Excellent. That's we all need some free events during the holidays because the budgets get tight this time of year.
Me too.
Aisha, thank you again. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
What a wonderful place to take your family and meet with friends. The New Jersey Morning Show will be right back. Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara Falco. Port Authority of New York and New Jersey recently hosted Wings for All at Newark Liberty International Airport to support individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families to navigate air travel. So the event included a simulated airport experience with security screenings, terminal walkthroughs, and boarding. Participants also explored Terminal A's sensory room, a calming space for neurodivergent travelers. Now, Wings for All allowed families to build confidence for future travel while providing feedback to improve services. Leaders from the Port Authority and its partners highlighted the event's role in fostering accessibility and training staff to better serve travelers with disabilities. By hosting initiatives like this, the Port Authority continues its mission to make travel welcoming and inclusive for all. Let's bring Mike on and just to say, I think this is such a great idea, right? Especially, now, I'm a new parent. You're about to be a new parent, and when you're, even if they're not neurodivergent, just traveling even with little ones can be a challenge, right? There's so much going on. It's noisy and it's bright and, there's smells and things. And so I think giving them some exposure to something like that before you actually do the real thing, what a great idea.
Yeah, I have firsthand experience doing this. We took the family down. This is my nieces, my sister's 3 young kids, all under the age of 5, down to Florida, doing the trial run Disney trip to see how it would go on the airport. And gotta say, right up until the plane landed, all the kids did great. I mean, there was a little bit of an accident involving a diaper, but regardless, otherwise, it's to be expected after all. I would say, it's helpful to go through sort of any scenario to see what would play out. It was good practice for Stephanie and myself to see what works, what doesn't work. But to have that experience and the sensory engagement is crucial for that development, and very helpful. Making the parents too also more at ease, wondering and being anxious and wondering how their kids would react.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think also I love that it helps the staff at the airport as well, so that they can better handle, if there is a meltdown or something that does, go wrong or whatever. It's very nice to have that support, especially from maybe somebody that you wouldn't expect, like TSA or airport staff.
Yep, exactly. Right. And traveling with children, too, also challenging, like you mentioned, through security. I mean, they all have to go through individually. So the 3-year-old kind of standing there, okay, what do I do now? I'm all alone standing here in this really scary space with everybody around me making noise. Now I need to walk through the metal detector alone. So, yeah, obviously there's challenges, but good to see that there's progress being made to kind of make it more inclusive and wholesome for all.
Absolutely, yeah. And have you been to the new Terminal A yet? Have you been through there?
Not yet.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful, first and foremost. And I didn't realize that they had a sensory room for people who have that heightened, sense of senses and neurodivergence. Again, what a great forethought to say, hey, here's a calm, quiet space that you can come to just kind of take it down for a minute.
And I think the average person doesn't realize how noisy and kind of clamorous a airport terminal can be until you try and take a phone call yourself.
Yeah.
And you realize there's really no quiet space you can go. So that's great that they offer that quiet area for those with sensory issues, just to give them a little calm.
Yeah. So, you know what, Mike, moving on, we've got another interesting story here, kind of a case of social media not being entirely true. As it almost always is. New Jersey Congressman and gubernatorial candidate Josh Gottheimer is facing backlash after admitting he doctored his Spotify Wrapped results to highlight Bruce Springsteen songs, a move critics say is political pandering, as he shared his results listing Springsteen hits like Thunder Road. It was flagged as altered due to inconsistencies with the visual portion of the Wrapped post that they do. Gottheimer defended the post, calling it lighthearted joke, claiming his actual listening habits are skewed because he shares his Spotify account with his kids. So the lawmaker has emphasized his genuine admiration for the boss, citing a lifelong fandom and incorporating the artist's music into his campaigns. Now, observers noted the incident might have been an attempt to connect better with New Jersey voters, where Springsteen, of course, holds cultural significance. The man is an icon. While Gottheimer's campaign dismissed the controversy as playful, the gesture has spurred broader discussions about authenticity in political branding, especially in a state where aligning with the boss is seen as a staple for local politicians. I don't know, Mike, what do you think? Is this, like a full-on political faux pas or just something cute?
I think it would be more original if the Bluey soundtrack came up in his top played Spotify list, because that would be authentic. Okay, you have little kids, you're a dad, you listen to, the cartoon theme song and other songs, but I think that would have made it seem a little more authentic. Regarding, what happens on social, it's almost like you have to think twice. You have to use your head before immediately reacting, commenting, reposting, sharing, and all that, as we know all too well.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you. I mean, I think, nothing makes you more human than being like, this is, my real life, and I share this account with my kids, and
of course, too.
Exactly. I don't even know what small children listen to yet. Thankfully, we're not at a point where we're listening to small children's music.
Coco Melon.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm sure it's rapidly approaching. But yeah, there is something genuine about that, and you probably would have connected better with voters in that sense, being like, yeah, I am a dad, and I truck my kids around, and this is what they listen to, rather than trying to make. And he may well, again, he's said time and again he's a big Bruce Springsteen fan.
Yeah.
Okay, we know that part, but so. But I could see, I don't know that it went so far as to trying to be a political move. I think it was just like, I don't want people to think, I listen to these little kid songs or whatever all the time. It's like, no, we all kind of gather that's for the kids.
But there's even that lighthearted trend of looking into whether, the responsible social media user would go and actually check if the original account posted this, if it's not a parody account, for instance. I certainly saw when that meme popped up a few days ago, the popular meme that I'm sure everybody knows about. I went to Burger King's Twitter and went, oh, did they delete it? Or was it real? And then we obviously realized, yes, it was a fake post. So authenticity, I think, is key here, Cara.
Absolutely. Always. We try to keep it authentic here for NJ Morning Show and on New Jersey. All right, guys, coming up, there's a new film program opening here in New Jersey. Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara DeFalco. If you're looking for some festive eats and treats this holiday season, you've got to know New Jersey is home to a number of Christmas-themed bars and restaurants offering vibrant decor, holiday-themed cocktails, and cozy atmospheres. Highlights include Charlie's of Bay Head, which is decked out with lavish ornaments, Sinner's Steakhouse in Point Pleasant offering a build-your-own hot chocolate special. I would love to try that. And Red Bank's Nicholas Barrel and Roost featuring holiday cocktails like sugar cookie martinis. Now you're talking. Other must-visit spots include the Jingle Bell Bar in Atlantic City, known for playing Christmas movies alongside themed drinks, and Spring Lake's Seacrest Grill, which hosts a cozy fireplace setting along with holiday-themed dishes. These venues embody the holiday spirit with unique experiences. Mike, what do you think? This to me is totally right up my alley and the kind of holiday experience I'm looking for.
That sounds like a lot of fun, especially when so many of those, local watering holes are kind of essential to the community. I mean, it's where you find your neighbors. It's where you chat with local, go out maybe after work for a little celebration. So yeah, that's awesome to see that there's that holiday cheer spreading right in your own backyard. You don't have to travel into Gridlock Alert Day in Midtown and deal with the massive crowds of the FTPs. Those in the know what that means.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you and I, listen, this is why we're on the New Jersey Morning Show, because we are Jersey kids, born and bred, and we love it here. And we've always been, kind of preaching this. There is nothing that you could do in New York City that you can't do in New Jersey with parking, I promise everyone.
And for half the price, most
And for
times.
half the price. Absolutely. I mean, we've got, these top bars, restaurants, chefs, and I love the creativity that comes with, kind of putting that holiday parameter on things. A sugar cookie martini, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. I mean, if you live sitting in traffic, paying high tolls, and don't forget paying $5 for a cold, rock hard pretzel from a
Hmm.
cart, then that's your thing.
Oh, I
More
think I
power
paid
to you.
$8 for my last cold hard pretzel. Not even gonna lie.
And when the salt makes it gummy on the sides, and you're
It's
like,
terrible. No, no. I'm just gonna stay on my side of the river.
yes. Oh, but don't forget, your fingers are numb while eating it because it's so cold.
Because it's so cold. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no. Just hang out here in Jersey. I promise you, we got it.
And
Speaking
for that reason, I got to say, we did the Van Saun Park with the kids, where you
Yep.
got the ice skating rink and the Sea and Santa and the whole thing. You could spend a half a day there. There's so much to do, and again, right in your own backyard, plenty of parking. It's great.
You can't beat it. You can't beat it.
Mhm.
Something else cool going on right here in the Garden State. The New Jersey Film Academy has officially opened at Brookdale Community College, providing state-of-the-art facilities for aspiring filmmakers. So located in Monmouth County, the Academy aims to nurture local talent by offering programs focused on hands-on training in various aspects of filmmaking. This partnership between Brookdale and the Academy is expected to enhance career opportunities in New Jersey's growing film industry. So the Academy features cutting-edge equipment, experienced instructors, and real-world learning opportunities. It aligns with Brookdale's mission to deliver affordable, quality education while supporting the region's creative economy. And if you've been following the celebrity news, I mean, Adam Sandler just filmed a movie here. There's been a number of films going on here. New Jersey is actually the home, really, of film. Initially, as the medium first came about, it moved to Hollywood later on, and it seems like a lot of folks in the industry are moving back to the East Coast.
Thank you, Thomas Edison. Yeah, did some really cool stuff, and I guess bringing it back home to where it all started here in the Garden State. So that is very exciting.
You know what I think it is, or what I've been reading really is, New Jersey, the East Coast, but New Jersey specifically, because of its age, because it was one of the original colonies. We have these older buildings and these more, truly charming streets and things that you just don't get, in the more modern developments as you go further west. That's really, kind of what it comes down to is, you're not going to find these colonials and these Victorian homes that we have here elsewhere.
Of course, it's also great to save money, since that's a big, help for film production, not only to have a tax credit, but like you said, to find those historic places that are already built and don't need to be constructed for a movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a great opportunity for aspiring filmmakers. Now, they don't have to go, to a school out west somewhere to learn something like that. We have it right here in New Jersey. And again, same thing. Top schools and universities here in the Garden State. And again, for the size of the state, we've got, a number of state schools, all the county schools, and they all do phenomenal jobs.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you so much. And yeah, that's it. That does it for us today on the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara Falco with meteorologist Mike Favetta, and there is more news, talk, and weather after this.